Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I welcome everyone to our discussion. So in today's topic kita nak bincang pasal environmental ethics. To what extent do we need to protect nature? So ada certain stigma yang kata the earth is in a dire need to be saved. So kita nak tengok sejauh mana this statement is true through our discussion tonight. Okay, so point yang pertama kita nak bagi kepada Mimi. Okay, Mimi, perlu ke kita selamatkan planet ni sebenarnya?
Okay, in my point of view, I think yes, it is our obligation to preserve the environment because we are given brain to think, to differentiate what is right and what is wrong. Okay, and even for me, those who do harm to the environment intentionally, okay, they will consider as immoral behavior. For example, I give you example. Nowadays we can see lots of people love fashion, right? And because of that, fast fashion happen. And fast fashion dia punya target ni untuk maksimalkan untuk minimumkan profit, minimumkan cost. And because of that, they tend to use like chemical yang boleh merosakkan, berbeza dengan natural chemical yang digunakan untuk menghasilkan baju. So because of that, diorang akan produce banyak baju menggunakan chemical tersebut dan orang akan membeli secara banyak sebab benda tu murah dan orang nak ikut trend. Dalam otak diorang, I have to follow this trend. I have to buy this baju banyak. They don't even care about the quantity of that product. And diorang akan buang juga benda tu. Bila buang, dia akan menimbun tau. Dia akan menimbun dekat tanah-tanah dan dia akan mengambil masa yang sangat lama untuk lupus. And because of that, they will burn all of that. And bayangkan bila kita bakar chemical, ia akan mengeluarkan beribu-ribu, thousands of carbon dioxide, which it can affect our environment and also ourselves. And because of that, I think those who prioritize their self-interest just to follow the fashion, we consider as immoral. And we as a society, we cannot do that. We have to consider others before we do something. Yeah.
Okay, that was eye-opening from Mimi. Maksudnya kita perlu, we have an obligation to save the environment, and pada masa yang sama, if we do not do something about it, dia akan menyebabkan more damage to our environment. So, macam mana pendapat Farid on this matter?
Alright. So my point of view is a bit against and it's a bit different from Mimi's point of view because in my opinion, nature and environment were put on earth to serve human beings. A theologist once said, Saint Thomas Aquinas, he said that universe were constructed as a hierarchy in which being at a lower level were there to serve those who are above them. Maksudnya kita ni as human being, kita adalah hierarki yang paling tinggi dalam alam semesta ni. So we are entitled to use animal or plant whatever we want. I mean macam how much we want, suka hati kita. And so regarding Syamimi punya view on fast fashion, for information, fabric only required like 20 until 200 years to decompose in comparison to plastic which take like 1000 hingga 10,000 tahun untuk decompose. So I do not see even clearly I do not see any mistake or faulty about fast fashion. Instead, it's a good investment. I mean, it is a good business to sustain the economy and life of human being. So that's from me lah.
Okay, I see that Farid dia ambil opposing views from Mimi. But then how do you view this, Muslim?
I think my view is probably in the middle of those two. I think that saving the environment is important, but also provide yourself with your interest is also important.
Yeah.
So I think that there need to be a clear line between those two, and we need to put something in. We need to be in the middle. So my view is that if your interests harm the environment at a certain degree, uh, meaning that you should not you should forget about their interests. But if your interests harm the environment, probably about a little, then I think it's good because it's for you, and like Farid said, it is made for you. But here's my
Okay.
opinion on something that Farid said about the hierarchy of
Mhm.
being, which is that things are made to serve for us. So here
Yeah.
I want to say, does it mean that we can? Does it mean that you support animal abuse? Rick?
So meaning to say, point of Moses just now. So basically, Moses said that basically we can do as we like. So does that mean we can abuse animal as well, Farid?
Uh, I didn't mean that, but kita boleh guna diorang still how much capacity kita guna, kita nak. Tapi mungkin lah takkan tak sampai abuse macam tu.
See. Okay, good. Now kita dah discuss about environment. I think it was a good session about environment. Tapi of course kita tak tinggalkan discussion ataupun scope of discussion about environment, nature semata-mata, about air, about river. Tapi kita tinggalkan ada satu sisi lain yang kita kena tengok, which is on animal side lah. So how do you view mostly how do you view pasal animal?
So
what are they? Okay.
Thank you, Danny, for asking me because I have a very particular points on animal. But I want to make the scope a little smaller to preservation of animal. As you know, there are extinct animal. They are endangered animal which are about to extinct, and I want to share my point on this because I think it's also important that we learn about our moral ethics on this kind of animal, the endangered animal. So, as we all know, there are a lot of causes of extinction, and I derive this type of extinction into two types, which is human intervention and nature intervention. For human intervention, it could be from animal poaching, deforestation, they lost their habitat, and pollution. And nature intervention could be that the climate change and others. So the reason why I highlight these two type of intervention is because I want to give you my two opinion on this. First is that I support the preservation of endangered animal which are which are endangered due to human intervention, meaning that they are endangered because they could be harmed, they die because they lost their habitat and others. And here's another thing that I like to make it clear is that I do not support, I repeat, I do not support the preservation of animal that are endangered due to nature intervention. So nature intervention, so here, what I can say is that it is very related to Charles Darwin theory of natural selection, because in Charles Darwin theory of natural selection, the main point is that it is the survival of the fittest. So to make you guys understand this more, is that the animal that are endangered due to nature intervention fail at natural selection as a species. There are two, I can name two type of animal, which is panda and sloth, which fail at this. But still, we try to preserve them, save them from extinction. Okay, let's say the scope to panda. I think we all know that panda is a cute being and worth saving. But my thought is otherwise. First of all, because first panda contribute 0 or less to the ecosystem, meaning that they are not important to nature. but yet we still save them. And second is that panda cost billions and billions to preserve. And another thing is the fact is that panda spend 2/3 of their life eating, and a third of them sleeping, and they can't even mate. You know, the people who take care of the panda need to show them a panda porn in order to make to in order to get them into the mood. So I think this is the creature that is not worth saving, because they actually themselves as a species fail at natural selection, in that the earth is evolving, but they do not. So this is the type of preservation of animal that I do not support. Okay. So any you
Okay,
guys have
you make
any
your
thought on
points
this?
clear, Muslim. Okay, meaning to say billions of dollars can be spent elsewhere.
Yes,
Aside from
to
kita spend
other
money.
animals that are more important to the ecosystem. Yes.
Yep. So how do you view Mimi?
Yes, Mimi want to
May
say
I
something?
interrupt something? Okay.
Okay.
Yes. For me, panda is still animal that we have to take care of it. Like compare. Okay, I will make some comparison. Just imagine human. We also have human that function so well, but we also have human that yang not functioning. Like for example, those who are taking drugs, and still we take care of them because they are humans. Same goes with panda. They are animal. Just imagine if we kill those non-functional human, it can be considered as murder and it can be considered as immoral. So you see my point. So I think the way you see panda is something that can boleh pupus because dia tak menjamin apa is contradict from my view. Yeah.
But Mimi, you said something about killing. I'm not saying killing the panda. I said let's just let nature do it. That's why my view is different from you.
Let's
Yeah.
just naturally do it. Okay.
Because
But
I
they
think
can't
that was an
survive
intense
as a
discussion.
species. Yes.
Okay, that was an intense
wait.
discussion. Okay, Mimi, you have
Okay,
something to say. Go ahead.
But just now Muslim mentioned about the money, right? That the government give to take care the environment. Yeah, you say like it's something yang tak patut diberi, like it can give to other human, to other animal as well, right?
Yeah.
Rather than give to the panda. Same goes to human. Rather than give to the non-functional, we should give to the functional human. Also, we should more focus on the functional human. But so my point is, animal is animal. You cannot differentiate like just because panda, you cannot bagi less attention on that.
See.
Yes. So here you means that what do you mean actually?
regardless of how the animals do not contribute, the fact that the animals do not contribute to the ecosystem, we have still to take care of them regardless of the animals. I think that was the iteration of Mimi's point.
Yes, absolutely right.
Okay, good. I think that was it for our discussion. It was a good discussion.
I think we are short on time.
All of you have, yes, we are short on time. So we just come to conclude sentence from each of you. So how do you, in short, how do you view about environmental ethics? Do we need to go preaching around? Do we need to preach around to people saying that we need to protect the earth? The earth is dying, and the fact that do we have to go to that extent? So I think you may conclude now.
I guess I can start first. So my conclusion is that I think that the earth should be safe to a certain extent, and that extent, in my opinion, is that the extent is what we have harm. For example, like I said about the poaching, yeah, that is because of us, because of human, and we need to fix that. But if it's something that the nature itself resolved to, then we should not do anything about it. That is my opinion.
Okay, that was a good point, Muslim. So now, Amy or Farid? Should go first. Ladies first.
Okay, me. I think. Okay, thank you. Okay, for me, it's our responsibility to take care all of the environment because we are human, right? And I want to leave you guys with one quote, which the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. We save it. So which means we are the one who have to save the earth.
Okay, that was a good point. Farid, how about you?
All right. So for me, all in all, I think I still believe in my stance, saying that we still can do whatever we want to any level to animals and plants. Because as I told you before, we are human beings. We are in the higher hierarchy than animals and plants. So I think it is not wrong for valuable beings like us to use less valuable beings. Therefore, it is not wrong for human being to use animal to the extent like extinction, because at the end of the day still semua benda akan habis, semua benda akan hilang, semua benda akan musnah. So why not human start daripada sekarang? Sebab at the end of the day still consequences tetap sama. So that's all from my point of view lah.
Okay, that was a enlightening punya views from you guys. So each of us ada pandangan sendiri. So we can just simply agree to disagree. With that, I leave you guys with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And with that, I end the discussion.